And this is an advocacy for employment of persons with Down syndrome. We'll have a beautiful conversation today. I have two parents and a child. They will be joining me, or I will be joining them, so we can have a conversation about this subject. That's usually, sometimes people mix it up with autism. There is a big difference. And so we'll be sharing with you the story of Down syndrome. And these parents are open, so you can ask them whatever it is that you want to ask them. There's one common thing, though, that you realize. Most of the mothers, the men have left them. Yeah. Simply because they gave birth to children with Down syndrome. So we'll talk about the challenges. We'll share with you the beautiful stories. One of my guests, Debbie Ben, she has a 7-year-old, and he's growing beautifully. He's able to read, and she's sharing some of the videos with us to encourage
is it Debbie
all of
Bangote?
us. Yes.
Debbie Bangote.
Yes. You've engaged her on radio.
She's a friend, actually.
Okay.
And,
okay.
I know a lot about Debbie and how she's managed the situation. She's so proud of her little one, and she's always sharing on Facebook. And I'm so inspired by her story. I took some time, many years ago. I've told you, I have an affinity for children. I worked with one of these special schools, and from people with autism, Down syndrome, cerebral palsy, all of them. Sometimes you just need to engage them. And no matter your love, you just get deeper into them, and you'd realize, wow, they are brilliant.
Absolutely.
And we
Echo, get one of those reading videos for me, okay? Let's get it ready so I can share a bit about her son reading, and he's a fantastic guy. So there's a beautiful lady who will also be joining the conversation. There's Agnes and Debbie sharing their stories with us. Yeah.
So I'm very happy we're doing this today, because we need to sensitize. And some parents, have children, once they see certain features, they think, oh, this one, and they become pariahs, outcasts in society. Some of them are not educated because parents they are shy to take them to school and all of that. Today, hopefully, we can address all of those issues.
Absolutely. But before we get into that, I have a dedication. If I don't do this, my boys will kill me. They said, Mommy, don't come home if you don't do it. And that's because their music teacher, Mr. Benjamin Amuzu, is celebrating his birthday today. And I've been tasked, whatever it takes, to wish you, sir, a happy, happy birthday today. So Mr. Benjamin Amuzu, music teacher of Villac International School, New Achimota. Happy, happy birthday to you, sir. I think it's incredible that your children keep talking about you every day. And what you say, they remember. I thank you for taking care of them and for sharing your love for music with these young ones as well. So happy birthday to you, sir. If you know him, please give him a call. It's his birthday today. Okay, Ben.
You could have given me an extended birthday shout. Because when you said Benjamin and then you started, I was thinking, okay. And then you went to Muzu. Mr. Amuzu, happy birthday.
Read this.
Happy birthday to you.
Ben, read this.
In my next life, I'll teach music. You go shy.
Yeah, read this. Read this.
Wish Mr. Oh, I like the way you should see how they spelled Benjamin.
Yeah.
Actually, they've murdered my name. They spelled it Bengaman. Okay.
But just read it to the end. Read it out loud.
Wish Mr. Benjamin Amuzu a happy birthday on News Tomorrow. Please, and do not forget.
Yes.
And when children get like that, it's a palpable threat.
This was left on the dining table, so Mommy, don't forget. That's the place that I remember.
Wow, the reminder. So who wrote this one? Which one of them?
This is the last one.
How old is he?
He's 7.
7.
Yes.
You know what time it is. But Mama V, I can't skip this before we get into the papers. You see, while some teams are signing Brazilians, among others, some people whose coaches are putting certain things on.
Why is he talking for me? First of all, I am wearing this because I'm proud to be a Phobian. And often I talk about Accra Hearts of Oak.
1911.
And I thought, let me express the love. So if you're a Phobian, you certainly are a proud one.
You should have.
Please.
You should have let me know we were doing. I would have matched you boot for boot on that level.
Go to the Phobian office. You see, because we are not loud mouths. Like we don't need to be loud. Announce what we.
The most popular club in Africa, one of the most, in terms of titles. We have the biggest fan base. You want to dispute any of that? You can't dispute it.
Can I talk about Hearts of Oak for a minute? Thank you.
The bones are rotten.
No, never say die.
The bones are rotten.
So Accra Hearts of Oak, we understand we're going through some difficulties right now. We recorded a lot of COVID-19 cases in the camp. We got a ban because people simply would not stick to the COVID protocols. But we are good. We have an amazing coach. Mr. Samuel Boydu is our new coach. They call him Pep. He's a fantastic man.
How about the former one who went doing something?
Ben, can I talk about Hearts of Oak?
But is he not part of Hearts of Oak?
Do you know that the satellites, those group of guys who brought us glory, and he said they gave us a gift on the match. Do you know that the captain is a phobian? He plays for Accra Hearts of Oak.
Is it only the captain who was on the pitch? Was it only the captain on the pitch?
Oh, these Kotoko people, they make meanwhile, I'm talking about Hearts of Oak. But what I'm saying is,
just because of Togbe Afede, I'll let it slide.
Forget about what people like Ben say and love your club. Go to the office, buy a souvenir, buy a shirt, buy something and support the club. We really don't care what they say. Okay, we just love.
On that one, I support you.
Phobia.
Let's as we buy the Man U jerseys and the Tottenham and others. Let's
be proud with our
local clubs. Charlie, bro, it's not easy. Let's support them.
Yeah. Listen. We will sail through. I think we're like 5th on the table or whatever it is, but I actually don't care where we are on the table. I like the fact that we have great management managing the team and there's great prospects ahead. But there's another reason I like Hearts of Oak is because it speaks to me in terms of never say die until the bones are rotten. Like it just gives you hope to keep living. So if you're a proud supporter of Hearts of Oak, let's do it. Okay, let's jump into the newspapers.
Before we get
Ben, we are not talking about Hearts.
No, we're not going to talk about Hearts. You are a aren't you?
I'm a Afi. I'm actually Afi.
Afi.
This is my day.
Okay. This is my day too, interestingly. Oh, okay. So my day was yesterday, I should say.
See?
You are a Friday. That's why you are Afi.
Now you want to come to Hearts?
Fifi. Shouts to Fifi Kumsen and all of those. But the significance of day names, it would amaze you, some of the dig outs I've been doing.
Yeah.
It's interesting, our day names. And why, for example, we would call Chediampo Kwame. Why tie him to a Saturday? One of the interesting things I found out about why we've been saying Akwesi Bruni. Because one of the reasons, apparently, during the days of colonialism, they were always in some uniform, but on Sundays they would don white. And so people said, oh, okay, so these are the Akwesi people, Akwesi Bruni, and all of that.
Not because of Yabrofofo.
Oh, so on Sundays, because they changed their dressing from the one for the regular week, this came up. And we've all been saying it, Akwesi Bruni and all of that.
And we say without understanding what it is. People say about Friday bonds, they say we are a bit difficult, like Yasemiye Dimbisa. That kind of thing. Yeah. Is it
true or not, though? Because sometimes, like the Thursday bonds, you look at what they say about us, we are kind, we are nice people, we're smart, and usually, though, we can take a lot, but when we get inflamed, it's not and it resonates with me, like it's spot on.
Okay, well, I don't know if, those blanket things they say about us in terms of
usually cuts across.
But what I do know is that I am straight to it. Like I will say it as it is. So if you say we are straight to the point, I would agree with you. If you say yes, I think I can be pretty difficult sometimes, but I'm easygoing. Yeah.
So apart from Afi, do you have any other name? Apart from Yao, I have Mauvi.
Jigbodi.
Okay, so Mauvi and you are Jigbodi?
Yeah.
Okay. Patience.
Yes, but I'm not. Honestly, that's why I don't use it.
Caught on camera. Please record this one and we'll play back and play back. So she's confessed on live TV. So that's why you don't use your Jigbodi?
No.
Ekekavo.
I think my mother wanted to calm me, but
but went to me.
Nah.
So let's, in the course of the show, we'll get into that. Your name, do you know how significant it is? Do you know the origins and what it stands for? I hear for us Thursday borns, we have something to do with the earth. And each day of the week has some explanation to it, which makes some,
I should be digging.
We'll be digging into all of that.
Because I don't know Jack.
I'll check out yours and I'm sure I'll find some interesting things. Please do. But this is where, again, I pause for effect right before we dig into the papers.
Charlie, this is your pause for effect. I can't get over it.
Someone should make Osechi Mensabunsu, my friend.
No, I think Patrick Gomez should do the pause for effect thing, He should play back from the budget reading. This is where we pause for effect. I didn't say that, though. I only said that he can do something. When they call me there, will you be there to help me? I have the newspapers,
I have the Ghanaian Times, Business and Financial Times, the Ghanaian Publisher, Daily Dispatch, Daily Statesman, Charlie, all the dailies, the Daily Searchlight as well this morning. What do you have?
Daily Graphic, the final Daily Guide, Republic Press are the papers that I'll be doing.
Okay, so let's start from your end.
All right, Daily Graphic it is then. Front page at Ghana Year Book Launch. Maintain leadership. Speaker inspires graphic. That's the Speaker of Parliament, Alban Bagman, who's urged the Graphic Communications Group Limited to maintain its leadership role in the media industry to help deepen the democratic credentials of the country. So big ups to Graphic. Double track offers hope to senior high schools as first-year student report. So there's been a change. Initially, the Ghana Education Service was very convinced that they were not going to do double track for the new students who are going to school. But they made a big U-turn in a press statement yesterday. They said no. They've had to backtrack because of advice from their health experts. So now the first-year student will be doing double track, but not all schools. So I guess parents will be learning a lot more.
Let me tell you, it's not just health concerns. Yesterday, for example, I was speaking to someone who has her ward going to Achimota School. I will not narrate the circumstances, but this boy is going to Achimota School. And supposedly, and I'm open to correction, they were supposed to take about 900. I hear they are hitting 1,200 already.
Oh.
So you may say you don't want double track, but looking at the numbers that are hitting the schools, and the other day I was talking about protocols and all of that in one of the papers, you have, some 300 plus more. How are you going to, facilitate their stay in the school? Where are you going to accommodate them? This boy I'm talking about is going to be a boarder. So there are real circumstances, apart from even health reasons, that would necessitate maybe double track for the Form 1s as well.
My only criticism, though, is that you were running double track and you indicated to us that this will phase out gradually. We didn't force you to come and announce to us that you're doing double track, with this batch of students going. I just feel that we should know what we're communicating from the very beginning, because this is the time. Yesterday, students were already going to school.
Yeah. People
were reporting.
Yeah.
Now you're going to be putting them in tracks. And so if you've bought everything and your child is going this trip, and it turns out that, he or she would not be part of this batch, it means that you're reversing everything that you've done. So let's communicate what we intend. After all, the second wave, we were already experiencing it even before the announcement was made. So I just wish that the Ghana Education Service would not be doing this to us, but they can communicate from the very beginning their intention.
Quick
so
one,
we can all be clear on that.
Again, back to Achimota School. I read the story. What do you think? Do you have problems with people wearing certain hairdos to school?
So this is the Rastafarian.
Two of them that were turned away from Achimota School.
Whose son they said they will not allow because of the hairdo. I think he wants to go the legal way. He quotes the Constitution to back it, because every child has a right to education. You're entitled to your culture. And if that's how, in your culture, you must express yourself, that's your right.
Yeah.
I just feel that schools will not allow this to come to this point. We can compromise. You can say, okay,
but
you can keep your restaurant,
is that
but you can cover it up.
Because that is a form of wearing your hair.
Yes.
In a natty form, leaving your hair kinky. You remember in South Africa, this came up with some women who were being discriminated against at some point. I think it was South Africa. And in fact, there's this Chief Justice, I just forget the country. It's one of those central or getting to Eastern African countries. I don't know whether it's Tanzania, Uganda, Zimbabwe, but one of them. And he's sporting, locked hair. I'm not saying it's the norm. Growing up in secondary school, you wouldn't dare do that.
Because
but I'm asking, how progressive are we on that front? Because nowadays you see 2-3-year-olds and their hair is locked. And if that person has done this for their entire lives, and I'm just imagining the shock or the sort of feeling or trauma even, when you tell them, if you want to school, then you must cut off your hair. I don't know, but I think somehow we must progress on that.
Yeah, and I just hope that the Achimota school, instead of just saying right there that we can't admit you. I mean, can you say somebody that I can't admit you because of your hair?
When in fact I qualify.
Yeah. I mean, what's the...
And I've been placed in that school.
The fact that I've been placed means that the system was not looking at my hair or my looks. It placed me there because I'm qualified. Now, you say you will not allow me in the school because of my hair. I just feel like they could have compromised and had a hair covering, or maybe the hair should be at a certain level or something like that. But when you do it this way, everybody begins to, we know your business.
Exactly.
And then you can have people getting up and saying, oh, me too, this is my culture. This is this, this is this, this is this. On the other issue is that you're going to go to court. And because this is borders on human rights, it's going to drag. In the meantime, what would the boy do? You see? So there's this other story in the Daily Graphic newspaper about more suspects busted in baby stealing syndicate. Investigators' life threatened. 7 more persons have been arrested in connection with the harvesting of babies and human trafficking in some health facilities in the Greater Accra region. This brings the number of suspects arrested in connection with the case to 8, while 3 babies have been rescued following a joint operation by EOCO and the Ghana Medical and Dental Council. Those arrested comprise the head of neonatal intensive care units of the Tema General Hospital, Nelly Tego, 2 caregivers based in the United States of America identified as Florence Aqua and Eleanor Oforincia, a social welfare worker at the Tema General Hospital, Nancy Obaya Frimpong, an aunt of a teenage girl whose baby was sold, and a couple who sold their baby at the Tema General Hospital. Here, there's a couple sold their baby. So earlier, 2 medical doctors, 4 nurses, 2 mothers, 2 social welfare officers, and a traditional birth attendant were arrested. All the suspects are currently on EOCO inquiry bail while investigations continue. The babies were all boys, were offered for sale between 30,000 Ghana cedis and 28,000 Ghana cedis, while one of the buyers was said to have made part payment of $2,500 for one of the babies. Currently, the babies were named Joy, Kwesi, and Nyamiche by their buyers are in foster homes pending the final determination of the case. And a bit about the threats. This is EOCO's executive director speaking to the press. He said officials of the 2 agencies undertaking investigations had received threats on their lives from some faceless persons. But he stated, we are unperturbed about the threats of death on the lives of the investigative team. We will continue to collaborate to protect public health and safety by preventing and detecting organized crime. Hey. Oh, I think that the Ghana Medical and Dental Council have also indicated that they want to change some of the protocols. In some public health facilities, if not all, when a baby dies, they don't show the baby to you. They just tell you that your baby didn't survive, and that's the end of the case.
I told you that's the story of someone I know from years back. Yeah. But you have every duty to let the person have access. Some even want to, the woman usually wants to see the baby, maybe hold the baby for one last time before you go in. You can't just go and say, I've cremated your baby, or I buried the baby, especially when you can't even give me evidence of that.
There are some people who don't want to, but I agree, you need to. It's not even like I agree.
It should be the standard. There is some closure.
You should inform them. You should give them the option. Your baby didn't survive. Would you like to see the baby? You should, there should be that.
I just don't get it. You're making money off selling a human being.
Charlie.
How different are you from those who enslaved people?
30,000 Ghana cedis, 28,000 Ghana for a life.
The life of a human being.
For a life.
People will answer questions. I mean, we all shall have questions to answer, but really, I think some things, when you go there, you just become something else.
Yeah.
Anyway, so let's dig into the Ghanaian Times newspaper. And government to construct 5 interchanges in Ashanti region. We've heard the sector minister, after many complaints in that region, talking about more development when it comes to roads in that region. NLA commends KGL technology for financial bailout. 449,000 Ghanaians receive COVID-19 vaccine jabs. The last time I spoke with Dr. Siedu, he mentioned that apart from, Morocco, we were second in terms of numbers, but hopefully we can sustain that drive. EOCO nabs 3 more baby harvesters, and Asemnaya critical. We need to deal with it. When you turn to page 3, woes of pastor involved in enlistment scam deepen. And the pastor accused of posing as a police sergeant and swindling 4 people of 16,059 Ghana cedis under the pretext of helping them to get enlisted into the Ghana Police Service, was on Wednesday charged with defrauding a 5th person of 7,200
I think people are coming forward because they've realized that he's been arrested. Some people perhaps didn't even know, even when he was arrested, that he was fake.
So the pastor allegedly defrauded this businessman after they both traveled on the same bus to a funeral in Nigeria sometime in May 2020. So already on your hua or the background, so that's what. And now the law too says, oh sir, the long arms of the law have caught up with him. Minority threatens to reject 2021 budget. That's on page 4. But on page 5, the international bid. I have sad news for you, Mama V. Tanzania's president. Magufuli is gone. He's, love him, hate him. When he came to power, even before he came to power, the sort of things he had done, scrapping the Independence Day celebrations at a point, saying it was a waste of money. He's done some things that may be, in human rights terms, yes, problematic, but I feel he's one of the best leaders we've had in Africa in recent times.
I think we loved his style until the COVID denial thing and all the rumors and the reports that they were arresting people who sort of said, oh, he had gotten COVID, he went to Kenya. We still didn't know clearly what he was being treated for, except that when the vice came to announce his death and said, it was complications of a heart condition.
And that's what COVID does. When it gets into your body, it accentuates all the negative things. All the negatives. If it's hypertension, if it's diabetes, whatever it is, it brings it to the fore. And that's why the disease is so dangerous. It's a bit akin to HIV, which also messes up with your immune system. Yeah. But interestingly, with Magufuli, he was one of Africa's most prominent coronavirus skeptics and called for prayers and herbal-infused steam therapy to counter the virus. Look, I would just say, if you can, and as many as we can now that we have the vaccines, go and get them. Go and get them. Protect yourself. You want to steam, you want to do all those other things, no problem. But get the vaccine. Yeah. Okay?
And when you have a leader, like when you have the person at the top communicating that, and
it creates problems.
Saying, turn to prayers. Prayers are good. Listen, that's the number one thing you should do. But doctors and the researchers, the scientists, are we saying God didn't create them? Yeah. I mean, we all have our
science,
gifts.
Even in the Bible,
we all have our gifts. And so
it is in the Bible.
So it's unfortunate. I mean, I love the fact that he was so radical. I mean, very unpredictable. But our producer says his death was a mega. Is it mega folly death? Yeah, mega folly. It's unfortunate. It's sad, really.
Maybe this last one I'll touch on because it's also tied to AstraZeneca, and then we can move on. African countries temporarily suspend AstraZeneca vaccine. And I'll just summarize. DR Congo took stock of 1.7 million. They were going to vaccinate about 20% of their population, but it appears they are stalling the process, and a few other countries are doing same. On the other hand, we heard yesterday Lithuania, Latvia, and other countries restoring the process. So I don't know what science is behind these African countries, because let's face it, when it comes to susceptibility, vulnerability to the virus, we are more vulnerable. looking at our health systems and all of that. So I don't know what the rationale is, but I'll say when you have the opportunity, go and get the jab. The time is coming for me to go for my second one, so I'll do that. On the back page, Catholic Relief Services contribution to development loaded. Let's check out the other papers.
The Finder is the next newspaper. On the front page, NLA silent on how 1.1 billion Ghana cedis was spent in 6 years. Malaria and respiratory tract infections, hypertension, top OPD cases in Accra. And then this issue, my meeting with party executives in Kumasi was to address party issues. Dr. Efriye Akoto is rejecting the fact that, well, I don't know if it's a fact, but that was what was said, that he had met some people in the Ashanti region.
He says those things never happened.
To announce his bid to be flag bearer of the party, but he said he did not. There's also another angle that you find on myjoyline.com. I think one of the papers also says he said he was recovering from a fever or something like that. And yeah.
I think, let me see. There was one.
There's a story on Down syndrome, the conversation that we're having. You know, the UN Day is on Sunday, and we're having it today because we won't be here on Sunday. But there's a mother, and this is in the Finder on page 5. There's a mother who broke down when her daughter was born with Down syndrome. She's advocating for babies born with the condition to be treated as normal children. She says she felt like dumping her child. And you can feel her pain because usually, sometimes, even when you want to keep the child, society makes you feel, you've given birth to, something that, or someone that ought not to have been given birth to. And that's it. Society sometimes feeds you with the negative thinking, which is very unfortunate. Just pause for effect. So let's just watch the video of Debbie's 7-year-old. I am so passionate about this one.
Pet. It. Is. A.
Nap.
Pop.
The. Nap.
Pop.
Run. In. Wet.
Mud.
Mom. God. A. Rag.
Good job.
Mom. Net. Down. Run.
Rub.
The. Nap.
Pop.
Hop.
Pop. Good job.
Down. Act. Bat.
Put.
The.
Pop.
On the bed.
Good job.
The. Nap.
Pop.
Hat.
Good job.
Nap.
Well done.
Fed. The.
Yeah. That's
so
incredible.
Cute.
But you also appreciate the work involved, and you've got to be there. Unfortunately, the system gives zilch support to such parents.
In fact, a lot of schools don't even have mechanisms to take care of.
They will not even admit you.
Such children.
Yeah.
So you see the stigmatization, the pushing away of these people. But maybe to wrap, since we're talking education and children, something else that I've seen with the textbooks now is Shatawale. It's not a problem if Shatawale is in one of the textbooks. I mean, generally, NACA may say it has not approved all of these textbooks, but you have a Shatawale song and they are talking about Shatawale and all of that. Back in the day, we were talking about batik, tie and dye. We're talking about bead making. Some of these things we're talking about now when it comes to Ghana Month. So I'm just asking myself, if this is the kind of system, when I start having children, obviously, I think I'll not be allowing them to, God willing, attend some of the schools we have in our system and use some of these textbooks, because I'm sorry, it is trash that we have in a lot of these textbooks. And they are in the system. And NACA will come and tell you we didn't approve them and this and that, but It's sheer nonsense. It beats my imagination.
Yeah.
Is this what our kids should be learning in this day of technology and all these developments? I'm sorry, no denigration of Shatawale, but what a Shatawale song, and it's the the patois and all of that. What the hell?
We should be given a lot of responsibility also to the schools. It's just like those salespersons for the drug manufacturers, those who manufacture medicines. They go out there to lobby. I mean, they go and tell doctors, they meet doctors and pharmacists, and they tell them about the drugs and essentially try to communicate how effective the drug is so that they can prescribe it. It is not by force. If I introduce a product to you, you must not, okay, I have to pause for effect. You must not necessarily prescribe it for the children to buy or for parents to buy. I have to pause for effect for the love of great hearts of oak. Anas Sabits. Charlie, you're on a good side, man. But I got a message from Papa called Akwe, but I don't want to read it. I really don't want to read it.
Are you reading the message?
No, I am not.
Or not?
Papa called
Can
Akwe.
I see that message?
I ain't reading it.
Can I have it?
I ain't reading it. Pause for effect. Patrick didn't say we should go. So please, let's go.